Well, hello again, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a quick little video on navigating through Marketplace on Facebook. Many are familiar with what Marketplace is, what it does, and how to navigate, search, and best of all, find some really great deals. Whether it's stained glass, lawnmowers, cars, but we're here for stained glass. So, real simple. I'm going to open up a browser window. This is stained glass patterns, and on the top you see this. You see the Marketplace emblem here. You can get to it through your home page, by clicking Marketplace on the left. But real simple. If you're at a group, what have you, and this works for a browser. I'm not quite sure if it works on a phone, but if you're on a computer using a browser, this is real simple. You hit Marketplace. It'll go to your default page for Marketplace. If you're a seller, you're going to see all your information. You want to go down here on the left to browse Marketplace, and by default with the algorithms, it'll show you items that you may be interested in. You can see I was looking for a wheel for my son's car. Look at that. I might have to get it. Let's get back to stained glass. It'll show recent searches. So if you say, search for stained glass supplies, that's a good one. All right. It'll bring you to that page. You can also you go stained glass sheets. So you don't need tools. You go to sheets, and it will list by default the newest, latest, greatest listings. All right, and what you want to do. I'm in New Bern, North Carolina, and it's showing me listings within 100 miles. Okay, you see Raleigh, Spring Hope, but if you scroll down, it'll show you results from outside your search. So this is a little further. Kitty Hawk's not around the corner, but it'll show you listings that will ship, like this one here. It ships to you, and it's nice just to keep an eye on what's going on. For those really good deals, you hear about other people stumbling on these terrific deals. I got it on Marketplace. Well, this is how they find it. What you want to do, click the notify me button. What that's going to do, your search term, stained glass sheets, to your location, which you can also change that, say 500 miles, to get some more listings. And what happens is once the alert's created, you will be notified when new listings come around. You could also turn it off. Alright, you can edit the alert. Alright, so let's go. That's the start. Then you can change things like delivery method, you know, what have you. If you do go to a listing, let's say I'm going to do a local vintage stained glass piece, and Euroboros. It's actually some nice glass. What you want to do, you just like Facebook or eBay or any place where you want to trust purchasing from somebody, look at their profile. You can see Galina, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She's been on Facebook for 5 years, a member of one of my supply groups. She's a member of Stained Glass Tips, Tricks, and Friendly, and more, alright? So you can pretty much guarantee that Galina, she's the real deal, alright? And from here you can message them, you can share it, you can save it. Well, it doesn't make sense to save it because it's gonna change. I guess she's got all different styles and colors. Maybe just showing different light going through, but she's got 4 of these. So just to, you know, show you how that works. Excuse me. You also find, you know, if you look for stained glass sheets, you can just go do stained glass. Right, and then scroll to the top, and anything with the term stained glass is going to pop up. And you know, if you're looking for something specific, stained glass tools, and let's do this grinder. Let's say grinder. More specific. What it's going to do, it's going to give you all the words in your search, stained glass and grinder, but it'll leave a little bit more weight toward the grinder. And you can see nothing within 100 miles with a grinder is listed in my area. Once again, hit the notify me button. So if one does get listed, you're going to be the first to know, or unless someone else has that notification. Alright? And again, results from outside your search. I'm sure the grinder is not $2,000. There's probably a bunch of stuff. So if you're interested, you know, you click on it. You go an all-star grinder for $130. Another grinder for $50. This old Glass Star All-Star. This is a Inland for $75. That's actually a really good deal. Wiz, you get the point. If there's no listings, it won't show you. And you got the ads, you know. You say, look, grinder, coffee grinder. Sometimes you stumble on stuff like that. It's kind of neat. Actually, I like that. That's actually really nice. I would entertain getting this. That's what I like about Marketplace. If you always, you know, get the notification. Let's see, stained glass tools, and they give you recommendations, tools and supply. You do that. You scroll back up. Yeah, waffle grid. You want to change the criteria. Let's go to 500 miles again. And then you could change the location and say, you know, I'm going to be going to Chicago on a, you know, you could change it to, you know, Chicago on the, you know, radius of the area. So or if you have friends in across the country, you can get an alert from them. Say, hey, pick this up for me. All right. So let's see. We got stained glass tools and supplies within 500 miles now. And you'd be surprised. You'd always see stories about people. Oh, look what I got. Well, here's one right here. Stained glass for sale. Osteen. I guess that's Osteen. So yeah, I'm sure it's not $10 for all that, but let's take a peek at it. Huge studio blowout. He has a massive, and this was listed a week ago. All glass at $10 a square foot. So it's not bad. I mean, you got 1 square foot is roughly a pound and a half. So you can do the math. It's got lead tools, lead stretching. So this is someone, if you're in the Osteen area, Osteen, you may want to check this out. This is how, folks end up, even though they're saying $10 a square foot, a lot of people, you say, well, you make an offer on a whole bunch. You put a bunch aside, and a lot of people will, accommodate you. If they want to sell it, if they want it gone. So if they're not getting too many hits on it, for $10 a square foot, that's kind of like a good average price. But if you've got items like bullseye glass or the hot colors, pinks and orange, you're looking at a pretty good deal. So just giving an example. This one perked my interest. Let's see. Look at those cutters, huh? Excuse me. There's allergy. I think last few days of allergy season. Let's see. We got copper foil pliers, used Toyo glass cutters. $10. I mean, as long as they weren't abused. This is actually, if you're running classes, pick these up. They're $10 each. Let's see. Diamond grinder head solder. This one's in Brecksville, Ohio. And now you got Ehor. If I'm pronouncing that right. You can look into them. I don't see any recommendations, but it doesn't mean that they're scamming you. They just want to get rid of it. If they I don't know how if you're local, maybe it's something you want to meet at Walmart, do the exchange. So you gotta always be careful with the marketplace. So whenever you do any kind of transactions with perfect strangers, you want to make sure that you do that in a public place, where there's cameras around, and then you meet and then you do the exchange. You never go to someone's house. Never have them come to you, because I don't know why. I mean, the world is full of crazy people, but they do crazy things. So be careful. Bunch of bevels. This guy looks legit. I guess these are rods. He's got bar solder. It may be something. But if you're in the Brecksville, Ohio area, you might be able to pick and choose, what he's got. Or she. I don't know. This is how people find these things. Stained glass scraps, large pieces. I mean, Freehold, New Jersey. Look at this, boxes of chemicals. That's how people find this stuff. So again, look at this, Baldwin. There's so much, and a lot of times you'll see people list things a little high. They say, "Oh, that's too expensive," but they just do it just so they don't get burnt. If you start negotiating with them, chances are good that they're gonna make you a deal. So you know what? I've been sitting on this stuff. It's getting really old for me. I'm tired of looking at it. And once they see or meet you and say, "Hey, this person really wants this stuff. They seem nice. They're gonna make some really good deals." I've done it myself. So always look at it as a lead, unless it's crazy. I mean, look at this. And I've also found that if you find kind of a bad picture, I mean, this is like a shaky video, $25. Oh, well, this is listed 24 weeks ago. But is she getting rid of all of this? That's how it happens. Oh, pick and choose for $20. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of, how much can you hold? I don't know. Like pumpkins. Anyway, I just wanted to do the marketplace thing. And again, you want to hit the notify me button. That's gonna come right to your notifications up here. It'll say, "Hey, there's a new listing, in this town," or what have you. You check it out. This is pretty interesting. I'm browsing it now, but local pickup, Maryland. Allowed to 22-inch lamp bulb, Odyssey. Well, a couple of things. Yeah. See, that was listed. I don't know when that was listed, but hit the message button. That message button also it integrates with Facebook Messenger. So if you message them, it'll go through the Messenger system on Facebook. All right. This way you don't miss them. There's no phone calls. I mean, you could call. They're in Messenger. You hit the phone thing, and it'll call somebody. And you do it that way. If you're one, I mean, I'm that way. If you hear somebody's voice and you say, "Oh, they sound legit. They sound interested, eager." If that's you, I'm that way. You hear somebody, they don't sound like a scam artist, Dick Dastardly. You found my listing, I'm gonna get you. No, no. It's sometimes you want to talk to somebody. Maybe they'll give you a little backstory on why they're selling. Somebody passed in the family, or they just say, "I'm just tired of looking at it." Whatever it is. So, messages are fine. You can call. It doesn't mean that they're gonna trace you down. And anyway, go back to my home. There's some crazy stuff on Facebook. Funny, not so funny. Let's see. Yeah. Just like anything else, you get your notifications. It's a real powerful tool. And remember, it's right there on top. You don't have to start looking for it. And, you go down. It's right there. Right? And then hit the notification button. That's a pretty interesting design. I hope I helped somebody today. And if you want to see more informative videos, I mean, I try to touch every base, with the Facebook, the designs, the glass cutting, soldering, the making, the this and that. I mean, even selling, running a studio. I'm going to try to get as much information I can to share to you on all things stained glass. Maybe some personal stories here and there. But that's my idea of Facebook. YouTube. I do it on Facebook too. I try my best to be personable, and I try my best to help people. I get rid of this allergy that I'm taking. Ricola. I got sore throat, sneezing. It's horrible. Anyway, so if you know me on Facebook, I share knowledge. I give away a lot of stuff. Yeah, the old saying, well, you're gonna die with it. If I have old stuff, I like to give it away. I make somebody happy. That's what it's about. And one of my biggest things, with this group activity, stained glass patterns, is, there's my post. Yeah, if you haven't tried locking that tip, you give it a shot. It's really worth it. You need a small screwdriver. What I was saying is, I even made a post. I said, give more than you take. A lot of people, I'll say a lot, there's some. All they do is they post and post and post, self-promoting. You could self-promote. I'm all in. Say, go ahead, self-promote. But if somebody's questioning something unrelated to your post, or you see something, chime in. That's what I mean by give more than you take. People don't post just to, maybe some do. They say, I'm bored, I'm going to post. It's like me making YouTube channels. But, yeah, if they post it, they're looking for feedback. And, you see people just, Fremont Glass, it's a commercial enterprise. Interesting, but I'm going to say, Fremont, have you ever commented on Mary's Roses? No. That's what I'm getting at. Everybody knows we're getting close to 180,000 members. I also promote the group and stained glass on Facebook. And I also, as far as the marketplace, I just sensed that there was a void somewhere. People just didn't understand how to get into proper channels. How to get notified. You gotta search first and hit that notify me button. All right, and you will get that nice the mother load. You see people they make these scores. I got all this stuff for $100. I can't believe it. Well, this is how. Unless you stumble on a garage sale, people have a lot of glass, and you get lucky that way. Or somebody knows somebody and knows somebody. Say, my friend does stained glass. Well, do they want glass? And I've had people call me, because I'm in the stained glass business, in and out right now these days. But hey, I got all this glass. I'm moving. Know anybody interested? And right out of the gate, I'm thinking, how much, And so I said, well, I'll take a look at it. I'm always polite. I say, maybe the school might be interested in it. But honestly, I don't really have room for it. But I know I can find a home for it. Oh, okay, great. And then, I said, I'll check it out. I go look at it. The last one I did. And folks were moving. And they had hundreds of pounds of glass. Solder, iron. They had one of those those cutting things with the waffle grid and the arm cutter, and an expensive item. All of it. They said, no, just find somebody. Just so I did. My friend who used to be my instructor, I called him up. I said, "Hey, AC, that's his name." I said, "I got some stuff. You want to take a look at it?" His son lives in my town, so he said, "Yeah, Gary, I'll come check it out." Well, I ended up giving him, what was that, the Cutter's Mate? I think that's what it is, with the weighted head, with the armature that cuts glass. I gave him that. I gave him a fishing tackle box full of solder. It was all 60-40 solder. It was like 25 rolls. He's like, "You sure?" I go, "AC, I don't really use 60-40. I use 50-50. Speaking of. He's like, "But AC helped me out so many times. When I moved back to New York, 20-something years ago, for a short period of time when I was in between rentals and things, he without question, he just said, 'Hey, you need someone to drive your truck? I'll do it.' He drove my truck to New York. Didn't put his hand out. He taught my students. This one looks interesting. He taught my students. He was my instructor. So he always helped me out. Like I said, you stumble on deals, by the good graces of people, and it happens. And so I passed it on. I said, "You know what? I gifted it forward." I said, "This is just too much for me." I mean, I'm still going through it. I got hundreds of pounds of glass, all handleable sizes, from this woman. Grinders and the solder alone. I was like, wow. And there was another box. I just looked at it briefly. All the hand tools, the cutters, and this how I ended up with pistol grip cutters. I don't use it. So AC, take what you want. I gave him about 50 sheets of antique mirror, the colored mirror. I was like, I'm thinking in hindsight, it's like, and this is before I really started YouTubing a lot again. I said, now I could use it, but I'm not going to ask for it back. But I like to show how to cut mirror, because there's a lot of discussion on the do's and don'ts and how-tos, but I'm fine. I just was happy to give it to somebody who could appreciate it, and he did. Anyway, but my point was, you're gonna find people. My brother doesn't live too far from this one. You're going to find people, when they do list stuff, remember, they're listing it to get rid of it. And, if you click, they meet you, say, "Oh, you bring a friend, you got big eyes, like, oh, look at that, ooh, ah, ee." Yeah, they'll actually start, they're not looking to take advantage of you. They want you to be happy. People are human, and start giving this stuff away. Not giving it away, but making really good deals. So, hit the notify me button. That's how you get it. You got stained glass. I mean, I did one before, a lamp. Within 100 miles. Look at that. That's actually. I know that lamp. That's a Somers lamp, actually. We got different versions of the tops. This one had a vertical band. This is a geometric ribbon. That's funny. This pops up. Yeah, that's one of my family's lamps. $70. That client grabbed that. $70. It's almost insulting, because a lamp like that, back in the day, It's got all the Kokomo greens, 59. We used to call this Dawn green and Paradise green, and the root beer we used to call that the ribbon. This is a pearl white. This is cranberry. This it's really red. It's not pink or magenta like that. And then this band, typically it had one band and then diamonds in the top. It didn't have this vertical band. For whatever reason they ordered it that way, which, I mean, it's different. It's kind of nice. But I'll be honest with you, I mean, I know the history on this lamp. It's worth a lot more than $70. I mean, this lamp, this is like an icon lamp of Somers stained glass. And if you're in the Flemington, New Jersey area, and you pick this up, and this is actually, as far as collector value, you're talking over $1,000 easily. I mean, it sold back. This lamp, I'd have to check the tag, but it could be from 40 years ago easily. And back then, the lamp sold for over $500. So for $70, the colors are awkward, but I mean, this is this is an icon lamp for my family. Somers stained glass. Interesting finding that. See, this actually refreshed since I started the video. So that's a brand new listing. I don't think you're ever going to see an original Tiffany on here, but you never know. Gorham. Sounds familiar. But I do know this one's actually got a bell top. This is interesting. I do know what a Somers lamp is. I think I could be confident with that. Alright, enough of that. Again, head over to Marketplace and be sure you check out the seller. Alright? You can look at their profile and just hit them up and say, hey, don't you, they got a AI good morning. Don't do that. I mean, you could just write, I live in this town, can I stop by and look at it? And bring if you're a woman, bring a male friend. And if you're a guy, bring a friend too. You don't want to be, I mean, I'm not saying someone's gonna set you up to mug you, but I mean, always, whenever you're dealing with interactions like this, always be cautious. All right. And on that, happy hunting. Marketplace. I'll tell you, it's a great place to stumble on some great deals. And look, I found a lamp. Lulu, I don't know, who's that? I don't think she knows what she's got there. I do. Well, see other pictures, huh? Yeah. It's amazing. I don't like this vertical banding, but I could tell this has got the original brass crowning, brass, all the the Kokomo. This looks like the Kokomo amber. It's not Wismach. Just because of the Wismach was more of a, though this is solid, I'd see that the variegation here in the whites and the deeper ambers. So Kokomo did more of that, as well as this band. This root beer brown or dark amber is Kokomo. You could tell by the granite. I could see the granite from here. This is Wismach. This is Kokomo. This is Kokomo. Kokomo, Wismach, Kokomo. Alright. Yeah, if you're in the area, $70. You say, you know, that's not my colors. I'll give you 50. Don't do that. Yeah, do that. Earth tones. It's funny seeing that. Yeah. Okay. On that note, I'm going to shut this video down. Everybody have a nice day, and please like and subscribe my channel. I need all the help I can get the popularity up. And when I do go live, I'll get more than 2 or 3 people. I plan on doing a scheduled live, but that can be rough. You know, you got to be there at a certain day and time. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, I like to be more impromptu with it. I don't want to have to make up stuff. If I got something I want to talk about live, yeah, like this, I'll do a regular video. I say, you know what, I want to go live. I want to do a studio interview, somebody live, or I want to, you know, I think it's a good moment to go live. I'll do it. I'm not going to force myself to try to come up with content. You know, and cut glass for the 1000th time. And, you know, I'm not going to do that. It's like forcing myself to find stuff, you know, to go live with. I mean, it's not me. So I go live. It's going to be more of an impromptu thing. I thought about scheduling, but it always brings me back to saying, you know what? I don't want to be disingenuous. My channel, I mean, you watch my stuff. It's unfiltered. It's the real deal. I'm not, you know, sugarcoating, fabricating. I've got experience in glass doing certain things certain ways, and I've seen other people, and it's basically everybody has different techniques or spins on technique. I'm never gonna say this way or no way. I mean, I will give recommendations based on reasoning and all the above, but that's another video. But again, yeah, hit Marketplace, and if you find something, you get a good deal, you know, share it on the Facebook group. I'll put a link below. I'm gonna start putting the Facebook group down below the video, and you know, or below the video, comment, say, hey, look at this, look what I got. But you know, say I'm on Stained Glass Patterns. I mean, that's basically a social network. YouTube is really not so much a social networking place. It's to put videos out and then share videos like I do. But a lot of that back and forth goes on in Facebook, and if you're on X or all that. But Facebook seems to be very intertwined with other things like Marketplace. You know, good old Marketplace. So on that, again, I'm sorry if I go off the subject a little bit. It's me, okay, and I apologize if you find it a little awkward listening. I really do, but I am doing my best to try to get my thoughts out to you as a YouTube visitor. Okay? And if you like my videos, give me the thumbs up. And if you don't, you know, you don't have to thumbs down. I've got trolls that come along. They thumb down everything. They don't like me. I must be upsetting their apple cart. You know, and if you know what I mean. I mean, there's other influences out there say, hey, this guy's, he's causing problems. You know, because you know, I don't know. They're intimidated by me. I don't know. And they come along, and every video I make, I can make a video about chocolate pudding, and they put the down button. You know, hey, you know, negative. You know, I know who it is. And, if you're listening, I know who you are. You know, I mean, you put that, it's childish. Let me hit the down button. But you know, if you do like my video, hit the thumbs up and comment. I love commenting. You know, if you comment, and I see, I get a notification, hey, this one commented. I'm on that. I jump on it. I say, oh, what do they have to say? Because I want to, you know, correspond. I want to reply. You know, what is this? I had to click at the. I'm sorry, that looks like real bronze. Huh. I'll tell you that's something. That could be really worth looking at. You know, I don't think it's original. You know, they call lily pad base, or you know, but it's definitely, it had. I mean, if it's not bronze, it got me. It looks like it's bronze. You know, the real McGill. You know, real deal. I was gonna say real McGill. I'll tell you, and yeah, the colorations alone, nice stuff, and well worth the $400. Well, I don't know, they had 200. Yeah, this is $800 base, if it's the one I'm thinking of. You know, made by Odyssey on the West Coast. And if it's solid bronze, you could tell. You pick it up, number one. It weighs a ton. You know it's solid bronze. But it looks like it. I would love to have that base, actually. Alright, enough of that. Everybody have a nice day. We'll see you on the next video. And take care, and later. We'll see you later. Bye now.